watching NTA, Nigerian Television Authority. For more information and news updates, visit our website at www.nta.ng, or you can follow us on Twitter at NTA News Now, or you can like us on Facebook at NTA Network News. Stay connected on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Watch our live stream at www.nta.ng/live. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
This is the network service of the NTA.
She will not start selling until 3 o'clock.
Wow. God don't bless some people, sha. So we go stand in the wait for many food sellers they are plenty for the street.
You said why you don't go Bukago chop now?
Sure, now I thought say God don't bless some people now.
See, yeah, but of food is not the best. Simple.
Okay, free that thing abeg. If they never bring the food, why we say they stand for you? Won't go now. Which one say we dey wait for 3 o'clock? Why waste time? Say no waste 5 minutes to 3, 10 minutes to wait for 3. Go somewhere else now.
Boston. Oh yeah. Don't get ready. You have to make them.
Oh my! Mom! Are you going to finish this alone? This is enough for 3 rhinos, oh!
What you don't talk is that?
I'm worried about you. Mom, look at yourself. And I'm going to work out, though.
Amy?
Yes.
Amy? And then let's all. Your mom not going to put you for trouble, I pray.
You told Daddy that you are watching.
That is out!
Is this how?
Look at me, look at you. Who is supposed to lose weight? Me? Oh, yeah, my sobe kaki. Idiot. Get out of here.
I got some bills. Yeah, I'm not going to know.
Auntie,
Afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Is that everyone?
Báwo?
I need a drink, man.
Yeah, you better come and get
See, I didn't go down. Scarce is low. Oh, I mean, you think it's because of that small money that I helped you put on top of your ashwabi? That's why I didn't come here yesterday, Abi.
Don't because it's one money.
I
was wondering what is happening.
Hello, money. How much is the money? How much did you put on top of money?
Yes, 50,000 now.
50 million only. How much is it that we put on top of 1 yard?
It's only 1,500 naira.
Only 1,000 naira. It's only 1,000 naira. Pretty man.
No problem, let me have it.
Let you have what?
That is 40,000.
40,000, Abi. That is your share. That's okay. But you will only get it after everybody has paid. Everybody can see you. When everybody has paid, you get your share.
Everybody has not paid.
What about people that got on credit?
Hi!
People that got on credit, you call Omore.
We have to collect money from everybody.
Omore, I don't know your people. Find them, collect the money, you get your share.
No problem, I will collect it. I bet I want 10,000.
Hasn't take anything.
Credit is
some
not
people 10,000, 8,000, see it there.
Credit is not good.
Segiba is good. Segiba
I'm coming back, my dear. Yummy. Take it back.
When you look like this guy is falling, what is happening?
Honorable. Yes, so. Honorable, what's the matter now?
He calls himself just because that's what he's doing in school. Someone who has never been to the four corners of a classroom. And you all address him as that? Is that it?
Utumba, it is not what you are doing. You are looking at the next local government chairman in town.
Now, as your people say.
You don't mean it.
I'm telling you.
See, he is going to be chairman of his local government in Calabar.
He is going to be.
Yeah.
He already is.
He's going to be.
Honorable, you don't understand. His people have come here, carry him to go and become.
Tell him.
And that's why you are addressing him as honorable. Even when he has not become one.
He doesn't go as hey.
Mr. Honorable. Why did that say?
Honorable, why is that before this report? Honorable face should not be like this now. Why this start before your face?
Jade. Ready for? I know you do that work.
70 happen. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀?
I know if you do that kind of work. I know if you do it. I know fit. They don't do that work. See, I know if you do what them talk, say make I do.
Who? The elders?
No, the Godfather.
Your political godfather.
Oh, yes.
Wetin Godfather say make you do now? Abi, who is this Godfather, not Papa?
Meanwhile, what they concern Godfather, concern Godmother? Say me know your people going here carry you make it good.
Oh,
no, not that. Imagine money man now. You don't know say person want do election, you want to put money now. The person will go sponsor the election with that.
That's the political godfather.
Okay. So wetin Godfather come talk now?
Oh God. You know, now that very old man. The Godfather now one very, very old man for our village. Very wicked man. Very wicked. But he get money very well. That is what I'm talking about. You do not have business with him being wicked or not being wicked. Let me tell you. Local government chairman get power.
Yes.
Be loyal. Act like him. You like what he's doing. You don't understand. This Godfather wants me to marry him Peking. Very good, then. What are you waiting for? Person who I never seen before for my life. I never seen a woman before for my life, and I want to make her come marry her.
That looks like a drug to me.
It does not matter.
Oh.
It does not matter. You get the wife for house. But you know say na traditional wedding you do. You know the wife. So what do you do? You marry this one. You get two wives. You know the problem. Oh God. See this. You see, this is not where the problem is. See, I never see the woman before for my life. Nobody for this place, for that place, don't see the woman before for their life. And I hear say the chief say since them born the pikin, now him don dey hide the pikin. They don't want to make anybody see am.
I didn't hear nobody.
Plenty things where people just dey talk all about. Some say the girl he cripple like this. Others talk say maybe he no get eye. Some even talk say na so he go open mouth like this.
Imbecile.
But I go dey drop, skate go dey drop. The one wey don fear me pass. Some talk say she no get that normal thing wey woman dey get.
Wetin be that?
Oh God. Oh woman need that. Oh God. So now you dey ask me this kind of question.
I dey ask you, tell me now, wetin be the thing?
That thing wey woman dey get when they make woman dey come dey meet man.
You marry the woman, I be the girl, I be the black reporter. You will become the local government chairman. When you become the local government, it is not the one that you will do anything with this woman.
Oh, what does he want to do with that?
Oh no! I don't support a marriage with dark.
What does?
Thank you.
What will you do with that, Mama?
You see the problem is say the dog say me I go swear for shrine for night. Say I no go betray the Godfather. Imagine that kind of thing.
That is beginning to look like a
How is it?
Oh God, yeah.
And you see where the problem come back past now. You see, when I don't go finish, all the money when the government suppose they give local government, now the Godfather na go dey in charge.
No matter.
That looks like Amala politics.
That man is a criminal. Oh yes, Amala politics.
Oh.
See,
They got him.
you see the bad part. You see, when the money come, as chairman, I will come carry the money, go deposit for the house of the Godfather. They are going to carry and go house. Then, out of his magnanimity, he will come to about 80%. Hey! 80% every month.
Why you say?
Oh yes.
This man is a thief. Oh no, she got what a condition. It's a terrible condition. I feel for you.
Imagine that. And if I no come do that kind of thing now, I don't turn bad person with that.
But let me even ask you. If you give this one 80%, what will remain for guys?
I give am 80%. He carry 50%, you go. Hey, where I go come get the money, where I go take 2 projects for people, where I go get them?
And look, project is very important.
Project for who?
The public now.
Those noise makers. You could take small money, settle with them. They go turn up.
Look, I know if you do a chief.
Hey.
I know if you do that kind of thing. Why I no fit sleep for night be say when my village people, the chiefs, the 2 chiefs will come tell me. Dem talk say for village everybody they want honest man. Now wetin dem talk with that? Dem come search. Look for people wey go school, wey read well, professors and all the rest of them, and people wey never even read before. Plus people wey get money and people wey poor well. Dem no find anybody o. Na so dem say dem must to find somebody wey dem must to trust. Na him everybody for village pikin dey call my name, dey shout, na I want do to come o.
Olúwa ṣẹ́gun fún mi. Ó ṣe mo dúpẹ́. Ọmọ àdùn ẹnu.
Àmín.
Ọmọ òní ní kò gbé tí wá kò ń gé jẹ. O ò ní kábàámọ̀. Àbùkù ò ní kàn ẹ́ o. Ayé ò ní rí ẹ mú o. òní dààmú òní ṣìrìn òní rí.
Ó yà wọnú ògo tuntun lọ. Ẹlẹ́dàá mi.
Ẹ tà mí ń kọ́.
Ṣé ìwọ ti rókun tó gbẹ̀rí?
Kò lè gbẹ́ bí. Àwọn ò ní sọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Ó yá fi sí spíkà.
Ẹ̀bùn látọ̀mù mi gbé wá fèmí.
Ọlọ́run á ràn yín lọ́wọ́.
Get 5 times your recharge value to call all networks without restrictions. Recharge and dial *234# to enjoy this offer. Available to new and existing customers.
Ìwọ náà borí ẹ̀ wá kó wá gbàdúrà. Á dáa fún ẹ. Ṣé orí bó.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Now, how I go want them betray their trust? Me, I no fit do that kind thing, no. I no make it be say I no go be honorable man, honest man again. I can't do it.
I agree with you. Okay? Just follow your mind, all right?
Thank you.
Do the right thing.
Tumba, let him do what he wants to do.
Chidi, listen to your conscience.
Thank you. Otumbas, I am listening to my conscience. And what my conscience is telling me is to go now and tell the others that I am not doing again. Oh, yes.
Huh?
Yes! That's the right thing to do.
Wait, not too much. You don't want to do it again.
I'm not doing it again, Chidi.
You don't want to, it's forgotten that you are owing me. Now let me tell you something. All the money you are owing me, you are going to pay me everything. I am not letting off anything.
When the time comes, I'll pay you.
No, the time has come. Come and pay me now.
Let me tell them first. Nonsense.
Chidi, you want us to make you do something?
Don't mind you. Listen, now I see that they are actually planning for a bargain of this man's deal. So you have the eye on it.
You did that right thing. First God say no do again, you want us to make it clap.
No, he was just saying he's only happy for his friend now. I'm happy.
Of course I'm very happy for him. I am very happy for him, but he will not get away with my money. Do you know how much I've invested in this good for nothing friend of mine?
I'm disappointed.
No, he's good for nothing friend of yours.
Hey, what do you want to do? You see, we got local government chairman. Whether you like it or not, wait.
By boss.
I need to go. Let me go and do my business.
Seki, I'll see you later. Yeah, Madina. Can I have my lunch now?
No, sir.
Please, let me have something to eat, Jerry.
Yeah. Come. Yeah, let's take back.
So that me and you will talk. I want us to do business together. I want to put money inside the film.
Seriously? That's interesting.
Let me tell you. You know why I choose to do this? Why? Because you get the epic face. Sorry, you get the epic face. Epic face? You get the epic face.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm really pleased.
No. Don't worry.
You are here. That reminds me. You said I have epic face. What do you mean by epic face?
You don't want to get a meal in your house? Should we used to look meal in your house? Yes, yeah, Modino, this attention is becoming too much.
Anything soft, maybe you can tell her again to bring it.
Okay.
Thank you. She's a nice person.
Oh, she's a very nice person. Very nice person. So, as I was saying, give us space. We are talking business here. As I was saying, I brought you because I want us to do business. I want us to transact business, do things together, make a lot of money together. I mean, when I say money, I mean better money. As a movie face. You understand what I'm talking about?
That's good. All right, you want to do a movie. If I may ask you, what kind of movie are you looking at?
Epic film, of course.
Epic film? Why do you choose epic film? What do you actually, how do you describe an epic film? If I ask you?
Which one? You don't know what is epic film? Is epic film not that one that one used to go naked?
Naked? Oh. Is that what you classify as epic film?
Yeah, now that one that they will use small sackload to cover their private part. Is that not epic film?
Now I get it. Okay. But do you have a script for that? A script?
A script? What is it?
I mean screenplay. Story.
Oh! That one supposed to be here. Let me check.
Auntie!
Yes.
Auntie! You can't stay now. You don't bring your own party.
Okay, this is the idea.
Yeah.
But we still need a script. You need someone to write a script to screenplay this because we can't act it like this. Yes.
That is why you're here now.
Okay. Have you thought of getting a director that will direct this movie?
Am I supposed to be looking for a director when you're here? You tell me how we go about it and we'll get it done.
It's okay. What will happen? I think I need let me get the drink first.
I can make you one time. No, you are not supposed to take it this way.
Yes, I was just looking at because of the sugar content.
Yes, sugar. I can get you another one. What do you want it to be?
Just look for something else. Let me just get me something else apart from this.
See, I will get you something soft and light.
Thank you.
I would have sent it to me to get you food, but the food I don't know already.
Yeah, it's already here. Okay, now you're talking about this movie something. You don't have a director first because you can't shoot a movie without having a director or screenplay it. It's not done. You understand? It's just like now you say you want to build a house. Building a house, you need an architect, you need a bricklayer, and you need an engineer. So in movie, you need a professional to do all these things.
We are still talking the same thing, Mr. Sam Yana. So, you know, even people that used to build house, they used to learn it. If you learn, you go study. You understand? So the same thing goes to this one if you ask me.
That's what I'm saying, because you need to learn. You must bring in the professionals to do this job.
Yes. So with what you're saying now, like, how are we going to go about it? Would it cost additional money?
Yes, it is going to involve money, but we can't actually ascertain the amounts to be, it's going to cost, except we have a script for it. It matters a lot. Okay?
One more thing. This business now, how much will it cost? I need to come out my capital. You understand? Let me know everything now is you have to plan it ahead. I'm a very good businessman. I plan ahead.
So, like I told you before, we can't actually say this is the amount, except we scriptplay it, have a script for it, then we can now decide how we go about it.
It's okay.
This is
Thank you so much.
Enjoy yourself.
So how much is everything?
Never mind. This particular one is on me.
Right thickness. That's what Total Aluminium gives you.
No matter the size of your project, Total Aluminium gives you the specifications that suit your needs. From long-span aluminium roof and cladding sheets, step tiles, stone chip coated and Metcopo roof tiles, all these are working for one purpose. And with the newly acquired technology, Total Aluminium ensures your structure gets the roofing that would stand the test of time. Come rain, come shine. Total Aluminium Systems Limited.
They offer you efficient customer service.
When malaria come knock for your door, he hit you face to face. No grief for ammo. Well, fast with public term. He get a thermometer plus lumefantrine. Pop, public term, pop.
Oral suspension for children, tablet for adults.
Or you make you waka for malaria. They make you younger with Public Term. Public Term get Artemether plus lumefantrine to help you waka from malaria side. Public Term, they available for pharmacies near you.
Public Term get NAFDAC approval. The number now P40202.
Public Term, na product of Publix Pharmaceuticals Nigeria Limited, part of Publix Healthcare UK Limited. Publix Pharmaceuticals Nigeria Limited.
This is Mambila Plateau, place in Nigeria, endowed with enormous natural resources. The topography, the undulating plains, and exciting rock formations.
Access information. Think of a station that creates awareness for national development. Imagine a station that prepares you for a bright and greater future. A station for all ages. Documentaries, classroom and television, events coverage, children's programs and variety shows. Always stay tuned to NTA Knowledge on the StarTimes platform, channel 359. For partnership, sponsorship and advert placements, contact us on NTA Knowledge. NTA Knowledge, learning to broaden horizon.
You are watching.
Hello, Nigeria. It's a delight to be here with you again. I am Becky Maduchemu. It's another fantastic edition of Newsline, your Sunday tonic. Today is Palm Sunday. In other words, Easter is a week away. And congrats to Christians who stayed true to their commitment during the Lenten season. God bless you all. Now, there is a gentleman who walked more than 700 kilometers for a cause close to his heart. Okay, he actually took the long walk for a role model. We caught up with him and he will share his journey with us. Our social diary segment is fully loaded. This week, with weddings and birthdays, you will find entertaining. And the case files will leave you speechless. Yeah. Meanwhile, Fatima Umar Abuba will read the news first. Happy Sunday, Fatima.
Happy Sunday, Becky, and happy Sunday to everyone out there. You're welcome to the Newsbeat on Newsline. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed is set to commence another round of media interaction and engagement with some global affairs policy shapers in the United States. In an interview with correspondent Anthony Forson, the minister explained the rationale behind the media interaction.
Put or advance, arguments and provide clarification on issues of governance, as the case might be. But what is very significant this year is that this is coming on the heels of the last general election at which the president was re-elected, and it's quite important to also see the opportunity to disabuse the minds of some people as to the outcome of the election. Don't forget that the opposition has been trying to muddy waters and give the impression that the elections were not free.
Apart from the minister's media engagements while in Washington, he also spoke on other activities lined up for his visit.
With institutions, we meet with think tanks, we meet with powerful individuals who actually shape conversations and opinions about Nigeria and about Africa. For instance, this trip we are meeting the Council on Foreign Relations, we're meeting the Atlantic Council, we're meeting the Center for International Strategic Studies, we're meeting the George Washington University, among other institutions and individuals. The whole idea is to give them first-hand information about the successes of this administration, and at the same time the challenges we are facing, and also appeal to them to stand by Nigeria in these difficult times.
Meanwhile, Nigeria's Finance Minister Zainab Ahmed has told the global community that the federal government will continue to prioritize cost-effective policies that will improve the well-being of citizens. The minister, while reeling out Nigeria's participation at the just-concluded spring meeting, said Nigeria will this year issue a second green bond valued at 15 billion naira to finance agriculture, power and water resources. Leah Katun Babatunde completes the story.
activities at this year's edition of the spring meetings of the World Bank and the IMF is gradually grinding to a halt. Nigeria is recounting all activities she participated in, with the Minister of Finance Zainab Ahmed at the headship of the delegation from Nigeria.
The IMF will say fuel subsidies are better removed so that you can use the resources for other important sectors. And in principle, that is a fact to do so. But in Nigeria, we don't have any plans to remove fuel subsidy at this time because we have not yet designed buffers that will enable us to remove the subsidy and provide cushions for our people. So there's no plan to remove fuel subsidy. We will be working with various groups to find what will be, if we have to, and we discuss this very frequently at the EMT, but if we have to, what is the alternative?
The policy direction of the federal government and, of course, the medium and long-term plans for the Nigerian government to boost growth and improve every sector of the economy, diversifying it out of oil and gas, is also one that was prominent in all discussions that the government engaged in right here during the course of the week.
The growth is still a little slow, but as it builds up and as all the various things that are coming into place that we're doing, you will see momentum will build up, and we are determined to still achieve the targets of the ERGP, because those growth targets are the growth targets that will ensure that we get our people out of poverty, that we create jobs for our people, and that is the focus of the government.
The Nigerian delegation will be heading back home with a bag full of ideas and recommendations, as well as suggestions on how to make the economy a better one for every citizen. From Washington, D.C., I'm Leah Katun, Babatunde, NTA News.
And President Muhammadu Buhari congratulates Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of the State of Israel on his victory in the parliamentary election. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President, Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, says President Buhari extends best wishes to the people of the State of Israel in the aftermath of the successful conclusion of the poll, and wishes them peace, progress and stability going forward. The Nigerian leader looks forward to continue to work with the Israeli Prime Minister to strengthen existing cordial and mutually beneficial relations between the two countries. President Buhari wishes Prime Minister Netanyahu a successful new term in office and prays that his record fifth term will bring enduring peace and security to the Middle East. Now, one common feature of Palm Sunday is the brandishing of palm branches. Beyond this, what does the day signify and what lessons are there to learn? Let's join Victor Azu as he guides us through the significance of Palm Sunday in Christendom.
Palm Sunday is an observance in the Christian calendar that occurs a week before Easter and signifies the commencement of the Holy or Passion Week. It commemorates the triumphal entry of Jesus Christ into Jerusalem around the year 30 AD. In most churches, Palm Sunday is celebrated by the blessing and distribution of palm branches, representing palms scattered by the crowd in front of Jesus Christ as he rode on a donkey into the city ahead of his crucifixion and death. It is therefore not surprising that messages from the pulpits address the significance of this historic event, characterized by some best virtues of Jesus Christ.
The palm was a sign of peace and humility, but also a way to recognize that the man coming was a man of power and humility.
Our leaders should be humble, in their leadership. They should not lord up over everybody. They should hear from people and listen to the people and help the people.
It is believed that the commemoration of Palm Sunday is a clarion call for sober reflection and a reminder for Christians to be at their best behaviors, especially going into the Passion Week.
We deny ourselves. We give out so that others might enjoy it.
Nigerians should be hopeful that it will not end like this,
that the end will be better.
The clerics reckon that beyond brandishing palm branches and walking the streets in procession, Palm Sunday beckons on Christians to replicate the virtues of peace, humility and service to the people as exemplified by Jesus Christ. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Minister of Defense has made clarifications on publications in some media organizations, alleging that he accused some traditional rulers in the states affected by banditry of conniving with bandits. A statement by Public Relations Officer to the Honorable Minister of Defense, Colonel Tukur Gusau, says the statement by the minister was not meant to discredit highly revered traditional rulers in the states affected. However, it was meant to serve as a warning to some community leaders and their surrogates. This is based on security reports available to the Ministry of Defense and cannot be divulged to the general public. The Ministry of Defense wants to once again assure all law-abiding citizens of the commitment of the armed forces of Nigeria towards protecting lives and property of Nigerians. And the Nigerian Air Force says the welfare of troops in the front line is a key component of ensuring enhanced performance in the ongoing counterinsurgency operations. Abubakar Muhammad Musa reports from the headquarters of the Air Task Force, where a crew room and other apartments were inaugurated.
Speaking before inaugurating the block of 30 apartments and technicians' crew room, Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar said, according priority to the welfare of troops in the front line is indispensable in the ongoing counter-insurgency operations. Inaugurating the facilities, the Chief of Air Staff charged airmen and women to continue to apply robust offensive towards degrading Boko Haram insurgents in the northeast region.
The thing is not just about fighting, it's equally about ensuring that the personnel that are fighting are taken care of. Make use of these facilities and to also reciprocate the gesture and to make sure that they keep working hard to support the operation, not only in the northeast, but I'm sure you are aware we are operating in the northwest as well. And we are going to continue to work around the clock to ensure that every Nigerian can go about his or her business without any hindrance.
Air Task Force Commander Operation Lafia Dole, Air Vice Marshal James Marty Gwani, acknowledged the overwhelming support being extended to personnel over the years by the Nigerian Air Force and therefore challenged troops in the theater to ensure they reciprocate the solidarity by winning the war against insurgency. The inauguration of state-of-the-art facilities here, according to the Nigerian Air Force, also signifies that the war against terrorism is not over until it is absolutely over. From the Nigerian Air Force base in Maiduguri, Abubakar Muhammad Musa, NTA News.
The federal government is rehabilitating all federal roads in Nasarawa State to promote safety and economic activities. Aliu Tijani Mohammed reports that the first phase is covering Abuja to Makurdi access.
The Abuja-Kefi Lafia to Makurdi road covers a distance of more than 200 kilometers. Due to its bad condition and increasing cases of accidents, the Federal Roads Maintenance Agency, FEMA, flagged off Operation Safe Passage to ensure total rehabilitation of all failed sections.
At the end of this operation, it is expected that this highway will be free of pothole, thereby making the road safe for motorists. And at the end, the rate of road traffic crashes on this road will be minimized drastically.
As we are coming, there's no pothole now.
Motorists say the rehabilitation will reduce to the barest minimum the rate of accidents on the road, as they also applaud federal government for the new contract of expansion and dualization of the road.
It's not just a welcome development, but it shows that the Buhari administration is working in view of the fact that this road has been in a bad shape for a very long time.
With this work, at least, people will find it very smooth moving along this way.
The rehabilitation will also be extended to other federal roads connecting Nasarawa with other neighboring states. In Lafia, Aliu Tijani Mohammed, NTA News.
The All Progressives Congress, APC, says it will soon release the zoning arrangements for the principal positions of the incoming 9th National Assembly. In a statement by the party's National Publicity Secretary, Larry Issa Onilu, the party will make its position clear in the coming days on the principal position in the House of Representatives. On the leadership of the Senate, the statement says the party chose Ahmed Lawan as the candidate for the position of Senate presidency because of his ability to carry everyone along, adding that the party has confidence in him not to compromise the progressive ideology of the party. And now to a bit on education. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has warned candidates against multiple registration. JAMB Registrar Professor Ishak Oloyede gave the warning in Sokoto State, where some candidates were caught for multiple registration. Musa Abubakar reports.
Baidu Malami, Ibrahim Umar, and Umar Sani were arrested for multiple registration in the ongoing Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination at Blue Crescent Center in Sokoto State.
One, I bought it by myself, while the other one I have already get it from Ministry for Higher Education.
Jam registration pictures. So that is why they was arrested me and took me to this Ribata police.
JAMB Registrar Professor Ishak Oloyede, who monitored the conduct of the exams in some part of the state, says the act will not go unpunished.
The next line of action is we take them to the courts now. That's it. We will bring all of them from all over the country. We have identified all of them, but we cannot pick all of them. We'll be picking representatives from each of the states so that it will have federal character, that's all.
Meanwhile, the suspects are being detained by Sokoto State Police Command for further investigation. In Sokoto, I am Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
The president of the Nigeria Postgraduate Medical College, Professor Opubo Dalilitaria, says in the next few years, Edo University Iyamo will be the destination for medical students in sub-Saharan Africa. He stated this when he visited the institution to access the mannequin simulator equipment of the College of Basic Medical Sciences of the institution during the training on how to use the facility. Victor Odion Acha reports that the training is one of the several workshops organized by the Institution for Manpower Development.
Maneki is a medical simulation facility used in the training of medical doctors instead of human bodies for practicals. It has every potential and characteristics of human being with electronic control and can be used to detect as well as treat several ailments in the body.
One of the most important is that you can replicate real-life conditions, in particular patients with both normal and abnormal disease states.
We're using simulation technology to train students for achieving the competencies required, which normally you will not get in patients.
The president, Nigeria Postgraduate Medical College, Professor Opubo Dalilitaria, as the trainee of medical students of the university, described the facility as the best in West Africa.
It's a university that has great ideas and great ideals that it wants to achieve. It has set itself great targets. And the way it's gone about it, it's obvious that it's on the path of, achieving greatness, more greatness, because it has started in a way in which a lot of universities, did not start. It's easy to say that it's a young university, but it is taking on the kind of responsibility that even the older universities are not able to.
The Vice Chancellor of the university, Professor Emmanuel Aluyo, is optimistic that the institution will continue to acquire best equipment for training and retraining of staff in the various fields.
But we do know that there are always modern trends. We have also gotten equipment, some of them that are first in our climb. For example, the skills, the Siman 3G mannequin that Edo University has is probably the first in Nigeria.
Meanwhile, other training programs are ongoing for staff and students of the university in computer engineering and laboratory fields. In Iyamo, Edo State, Victor Odion Acha, NTA News.
And towards mitigating some of the health challenges of members of its host communities, Seplat, an oil and gas development company PLC, has held a free medical outreach for people with eye problems at the Obas Palace in Benin City. Steve Olonai Nwakulu completes the report.
Free medical outreach initiative by Seplat Development Company PLC is part of its corporate social responsibilities to its host communities. Management of Seplat, led by its Executive Director Operations, expressed satisfaction with the positive impact of this initiative.
More important for us is what the legacy would like to leave behind. So it's about touching lives. So this I Can See program is something we've invested in since 2012. We've seen very good results from it. We're very, very impressed with the progress we've made so far.
With this program, we have made sure for those who need eye surgery because of cataract, they have received it. For those who need referrals for glaucoma, they have been made aware that they have that disease, which is a silent one, which people don't know unless they get screened. We have also, through this program, made sure that thousands of people receive eyeglasses to enable them have good eye vision.
Representatives of the Benin monarch, Oba Ewaye II, led by the Esere of Benin Kingdom, Chief Stanley Obanwoyi, commended Seplat for this initiative.
My impression is it's overwhelming. I cannot even mention it. Words are inadequate for me to mention it. So I'm highly impressed. And we pray that Seplat will continue to work stronger and stronger.
Some of the beneficiaries expressed gratitude to Seplat for alleviating their sufferings.
I thank people that is behind this project for bringing this kind of project to Benin, Edo State, and in particular Benin City.
I'm highly impressed. If there are other corporate bodies in this country doing things like this, I believe that Nigeria will be a better country.
I am grateful to them for this kind gesture.
More than 65,000 people with eyes defects, including 3,000 operation cases, have been taken care of by the oil and gas giant Seplat since the inception of this program titled I Can See in 2012 in Benin. Steve Lonai Nwakulu, NTA News.
And now to sports. It's a 9-goal thriller at Under-17 AFCON in Tanzania, where the Golden Eaglets of Nigeria have been celebrating on a weekend. A factional basketball board organized its maiden AGM in Abuja. Over to Amansi Marcus with details on Sports Update.
Nigeria's Golden Eagles on Sunday defeated Tanzania 5-4 in the opening match of the Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations. Hosts Serengeti Boys were down 1-3 in the first half, but equalized at 4-4 with Nigeria getting the winner 13 minutes from time. Next for Nigeria on Wednesday is Angola, with a win taking the Manu Garba Boys to the second round, being the semi-finals. Following the conduct of draws for the 32nd edition of the Africa Cup of Nations in Egypt, the football ruling body in Nigeria says the Super Eagles have the capacity to win a 4th AFCON title in Egypt. Nigeria Football Federation President Amaju Pinnick explained that his optimism is because they are preparing the team to be the best in Africa, emphasizing that the country has very young, enterprising players that can beat any African opponent. Pinnick believes that the latest FIFA ranking, where Nigeria is third in Africa, means the national football team can reach AFCON semi-finals, where anything can happen during the June 21 to the 19th of July championship. Meanwhile, the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Solomon Dalung, has commended the Musa Kida-led faction of the Nigeria Basketball Federation for successes recorded despite the leadership tussle within the basketball family in Nigeria. He spoke Saturday in Abuja during the maiden annual general meeting of the rival Musa Kida-led board of the Nigeria Basketball Federation.
I'm not in support of any leadership, but I'm in support of the growth and development of basketball in Nigeria. So I have appealed that those who are still outside should join hands and let's move basketball forward.
On his part, Musa Kida said Nigerian basketball has gone through a lot since 2017, adding that successes recorded demonstrates commitment of the board to the greater good of the game. The annual general meeting was attended by representatives from 36 states, the FCT and other stakeholders, and discussed basketball and the way forward, especially now that Nigeria's national basketball team, the Tigers, have qualified for the FIBA World Cup in China. With sports update, Amanze Marcus, NTA News.
And on a sad note, the Speaker, House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, has condoled with the government and people of Katsina State over the death of Justice Muhammad Nasir, describing him as a legal icon and courageous jurist. In a condolence message, Dogara said his death is a monumental loss, coming at a time his wisdom, wealth of experience, and furtherly guidance are most needed, while acknowledging the contributions of the late jurist to the development of law and independence of the judiciary. The Speaker said his death has left a huge vacuum, difficult to fill. He prayed Allah to grant the deceased eternal rest and his family the fortitude to bear the loss. And the Nigerian Air Force NAF announces the passing of one of its airmen, Corporal Meshak Iliakumu, who died in Kaduna today, 14th April 2019, in a parachuting accident during recurrency training. In a statement by Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Ibukule Daramola, Nigerian Air Force, on behalf of officers, airmen and airwomen of the NAF and the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, commiserates with the family of the late airman over this irreparable loss. The statement praise the Almighty God to grant the soul of the deceased an eternal rest. And now, a quick check at the weather prospects for tomorrow.